You guys, the secret word is Billy Bob Jones.
You don't get to determine the secret word.
Please expel you, Mr. Hudson.
Mr. Hudson, it should be
The secret word is you're missing.
No, we're gonna come up with one later in the video.
This is never going to work today with us missing Hunter anymore.
Yep.
Okay. Trig. Right? We all love it.
No.
Now we get to practice it.
Joy.
So,
We thought they were going outside.
on your worksheet that you have sitting in front of you,
Most likely.
we have these different triangle problems down here. Now you have your reminder, your SOHCAHTOA sort of reminder up here. I wish they'd put it in order with SOHCAHTOA, but we have cosine, sine, and tangent to remind you of those ratios. And those sides on those appropriate triangles are bolded, right? What sides we're actually going to be using. So you can see with cosine, we kind of use the two sides that make the angle. You can see with sine, we use the hypotenuse and the one across from it. And tangent, likewise, the adjacent and the one across from it. So with your team, work through these problems. Where did you just disappear to? So it was inappropriate to spend time showing me what you made over the weekend when you weren't ready for class. You fool, okay? Because we have now started without you. So, I'm going to give you probably at least 6 minutes, because there's 9 of these, to solve through and decide which trig function is most appropriate for these, and then find the missing length. Now you can, of course, solve for the missing angle measure if you want, and then trig function is kind of your choice, but you don't have to. So first, I would like us to do 3 minutes, no talking, just independent. Then check with teammates and see what they chose and what they did. Yes.
So if you're using the bottom, if you're that angle and then use that side, what side are you getting? Hold on. I'm gonna have to find a better.
So what have you done?
Remember that what we're doing is building a ratio. This is not like an easy function where you plug some stuff in and we will get spit out exactly what we want. We are building a ratio where we know 2 of the pieces in this ratio. We're missing one of them.
Is it possible? 0 degrees.
Is that possible?
It would just be, it would be 0, because it's just a line.
I know, like,
No, only 2 lines.
It's a 9 degree now.
Yeah, but like, lines don't.
So the A, the tan,
Lines never have it. So it's just
A,
0.
over adjacent.
But you wouldn't know. So if you didn't know A, you would know those 2 sides.
That's what I'm asking. So, how do I know which side I'm going to get after doing this equation?
If you're not getting a side,
Decide
you're not. This is what I keep trying to tell you. You are solving for any unknown piece that you are missing in the proportion that you build.
So this could be this or that.
So work these problems with your team, and I think this will get your breakthrough.
You use tangent. What you're getting is the slope ratio. Yeah, that's the tangent. I know.
If
So
we
you're
know
not
the angle.
automatically getting the side.
Yes.
No,
See the proportion.
you're not automatically getting a side mount.
Okay, so
I know.
like you would do tangent of like 48 or something over 1 equals x over let's say 12. So
Yeah.
that, right? Then you're solving for do that, and you do x equals 12.
Okay, I understand this.
And then
I
that's
understand,
I understand this thing.
I was dumb for a second.
Yeah, you talked about it. Oh my god, silence. Jube.
So you're gonna break this down?
So can we use tangent on A?
No.
No.
You gotta use sine.
Sin.
Sine.
It is sine.
Sin's
Sine, not sin.
You are sin day.
Be idiots, you fools. Haha, get it?
No, it's neither. It's S-I-N.
Galen.
Gang. Gang the
I'm
father.
gonna game in you.
So much off-task conversation.
I'm still working on it. What?
Sin of 16, sin of 30 is 1/2.
Shouldn't B also be sine then?
They won't be the same. Sine of 30 and cosine of 60, or sine of 60 and cosine of 30.
No, sine of 60 and sine of 30
For what?
is 1/2.
A, you just want.
Tan. It should be tan because it's the two side lengths that aren't the hypotenuse.
Yeah, you know B.
Okay, you've got
B would be
tangent
tangent.
of x. You don't know what x is, and you don't know.
Oh my god, B is literally the one thing. Remember?
You mean
45-degree angle?
It's isosceles. Would you
Yeah,
look at that?
the one thing.
It is a
Wow. Oh my
special
gosh.
right triangle.
Pronounce
Is
the
that
one
one
thing.
thing that you're trying to
So
say?
is the one thing. And F. It's
Pronounce-
just 8.
They're special.
No, it's pronounced the one thing.
It's got a one and only.
No, yeah.
One time something.
Wow.
Maybe we should make math counts shirts that just like have a bunch of different isosceles, equilateral, or
No, we should have just
30,
like a special
69.
right triangle and be like, I'm
Well,
special.
so like a bunch of pictures of all those different triangles. Say just like these triangles.
Trig is
And
hard.
on the back say like we're special, like we're all special.
We
Well-
should just have like the dialogue from one of our arguments.
I should bring in one of my shirts from our fraternity that we had made that said fraternity, a group of men banded together to accomplish common goal.
Oh, what?
Fraternal means brotherhood.
Oh, no, fraternity was like that one thing that you take off when you have a baby.
Satya, fraternity of steel.
Paternity. Paternal, as in parent. Did you pass your stems last year?
Yeah.
Satya did it.
I did first try every one of them.
Alright, in A, we know that from our angle, we have the opposite side and then the hypotenuse, so we have to use sine. Sine of 28 equals x over 19, which becomes easy to solve.
X equals.
X equals 19 sine of 28 and becomes verification
Correct.
8.92.
That's what I got.
B should be easy because it's special.
Species.
Oh, I don't think I know that.
I think it's 16, Mr. Hudson.
C.
No, it's 32.
Guys, I want to give you time to do your homework, but the more like quote unquote funny answers you give, it just slows us down. Here, the dangerous thing is it's giving us angles that are not easy to set up as the slope ratio, and or even if we could, it doesn't matter because we don't have the other leg. So again, we look at what we have. We've got adjacent and hypotenuse, cosine. Adjacent is 18 over x. And then you guys stole my working stool and replaced it with a broken stool. We swapped places, right? Because if you remember that rule, Mr. Schurig actually got kind of upset when he like went to sit on it and it just dropped out from under him. Because he went all the way down, like full force, all gravity. Remember that in proportions we can trade places. Kind of with that means extremes
Just
theorem.
like with the chair.
Yes, just like with the chairs. So in D, sorry, what do we get for x here then?
0.37.
0. What?
Excuse
Then
me?
did it backwards.
It's the hypotenuse. How is it going to be less?
Oh,
Make
yeah,
sure that we did
37.13.
18 divided by cosine
I
of
think you did
61.
Cosine
You do it
61
cosine 61
divided by 18.
No,
What do you
cos
get
is
here,
61.
Jacob?
37.13.
You do 18 divided by cos 61.
The cos is 61 divided by 18.
No,
No,
you did
it's
it wrong.
18 divided by cosine of 61 because these trade places.
I'm done.
The diagonal terms can
Yes, I
trade
think we
places.
all agree.
I have no arguments of the contrary. No, I'm joking.
So what do we swap?
You can swap anything you want, so
So I
I
got all the
could
cosine
swap.
either off.
I could swap 18 and 1. However, that's going to be the reciprocal of x. So if you do this division in the wrong order, what you get is actually the reciprocal of x. So if we do it in the right order, we would switch x and cosine 61. X becomes 18 divided by cosine of 61, which is 37.13.
You know,
Then D,
Exceed is 14.1.
from the angle given,
Sine.
I want there to be an easier way to do this.
Sine of 25.
6 over x.
That statement right there is your generation in a nutshell.
Yeah, but
We have spent a great deal of time and expertise to create the easy way to do this, which is just punch numbers in your calculator. And you're sitting here saying, I want an easier way. I wish a robot could just look at this and do it for me.
Let me get like a voice recording calculator. Like, sine of 25 equals 6 over x. What does it equal?
Bro, just like freaking scan the picture and it gives you the answer.
So again, we can switch places. Right, the x and the sine of 25. So it's 6 divided by sine of 25. X comes out to be
14.19.
Wait, what was the answer to the first one?
I put
Up there.
14.20.
8.9.
Ah, right!
You just rounded.
Calm down, man. You're an 8th grader.
Sorry, I thought you were wrong.
I don't care what
oh man.
E. We have a special right triangle.
Yummy.
In 30, 60, 90, remember we have a relationship here to here and here to here. Compared to the short side, what is this leg? Or sorry,
Double.
this is a trapdoor. This triangle, how it looks on your paper, is inappropriate to how it actually is.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
This is your long leg, which in a 30, 60, 90, how's the long leg compared to the short? And how does the hypotenuse?
Isn't it like 3?
You change it for
Radical
the
3. So we can use, not tangent here,
Pose.
if we look at, we have adjacent and hypotenuse.
Cosine.
That'd be cosine. We can do cosine, or we can use the special right triangle relationships. So this would be 16, and this would be radical 3 times 8, or 8 radical 3.
But this is backwards, so that'll be 16.
What? What does it even mean?
So 13.85.
So just do it the other way. Use cosine and do it.
So if we do the trig,
Cosine of 60 equals 8 over x.
What is this?
8 over x. So you do 8
Swap
over x
places.
equals 60.
Cosine is CAO, right?
CAO.
C8.
Which ones are you
So,
still swapping places?
like A8.
It should be so cat, so it'll be easy for me.
I mean,
So
if that's, if you want to, that's fine. So what is x here?
X is.
How?
Sorry, hold up. We said those rules wrong. The hypotenuse is your double your short side. This other leg is your rad 3 times.
That's what I was thinking, because I was like
Sorry,
trying to
we were-
figure it out,
yeah.
and I was like, wait a
I was
second.
just moving fast. Everyone makes mistakes, and that's fine. Like, if you remember a rule, but then, like, put it in the wrong place, like, that's okay. As long as you're, like, not building bridges or anything yet, right? Like,
fail a test like that.
make those mistakes now. But really compare which one's bigger, 2s or radical 3s. Well, 2s is bigger, right? So that's got to be the hypotenuse compared to the longer leg. Excuse me, because this is approximately like 1.7, right? Radical of 3, what times itself would give you 3? Actually, no, it's 1.4. Because 1.5 times 1, no, yeah, it's like 1.7. What's radical 3? Just somebody do it real quick. It's like 1.7.
1.37, 1.733.
1.73.
Okay, and this is 13.856.
So if you do radical 3 times the 8, that probably gives you 13.56. Yeah. So that leg, if we were solving for that leg, then we got it. Alright, sorry for writing those rules down backwards. This would be 16. So really, what that just showed was a great example if I had planned that on purpose. Even if we can remember rules, the trig's better.
Yeah.
Just doing the trig real quick, that function, if we set it up correctly, will always work out. Another 30, 60, 90, so if we remember these rules correctly, would this side be the short side or the long side?
Short.
Short, so what is it?
S.
21.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, I got
If-
Go for it.
If we remember these rules correctly, remember that in a 30, 60, 90, the hypotenuse is double the short leg, which means that this then would be radical 3 times 21.
Wait, in the 3069, the radical is 2. Wait, hold on.
The radical's 3
Hold on,
because
hold
they're all factors of 3.
No, hypotenuse is 2 times short leg.
Yep, double.
So, leg and that was
Where?
8.
What is that? What do you
Short
mean?
leg and
E. Where?
E.
An E?
Short leg and E was 8. Hypotenuse was not 16.
Yes, it was.
Sine of 30 equals
Wait,
we
what?
set this up. We wrote it down wrong once, so if you were blindly writing down what I had up here, I wrote down the rules wrong once. Because we switched their places.
So,
Do 8 divided by cosine of 60. Just try it. 8 by adjacent side divided by cosine of 60.
so what's this? Oh, 3. So the leg is 3 times.
Yeah, if we wanted to do this leg, yeah, we were just talking about the
bigger leg.
rules.
So you lied.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, fraud.
We were solving this, but it helps. I mean, why not do this if we can? Might as well solve it if we know how.
Make the palm.
I got handed my college diploma beside a dumpster behind my apartment. Because I wasn't available to go to graduation because I was the graduation in December doesn't really happen. It's just like, yay, you're done. So they're like, wait till June and graduate. And I was like, no, I've already been in the real world working a real job. Forget you. So they mailed it to my parents' house, and then my parents brought it over to me, and then they forgot to give it to me. So then they were leaving, and they're like, oh wait, come down here and grab your diploma. Okay.
Wait, did you and said?
It's the internet. Don't trust it.
No, I just want to make sure that you
Hold
can't
on,
use.
Google.
This guy bought a whatever it's called, thing that you wear when you graduate. He
Capping
bought
down.
Yeah, he bought one of those. He pretended to fit in with everyone and got handed a diploma. Could you?
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if they have no idea who you are and somebody was absent. But at Otterbein, people know who you are. It'd be like if Jacob tried to walk across the stage when we called your name at 8th grade celebration. We'd be like, Jacob, sit down. Where's Satya? We would know you.
And then
But even if you somehow got a diploma, it wouldn't matter because you don't have the credentials. When the person calls the college and they're like, hey, does Satya actually have a diploma? And they'd be like, no, he never went
They
here.
call it college?
Yeah, when you give a resume to people, they check what you told them. You can't just turn in paper on malarkey. I went to MIT. No.
What are you talking about? They're not gonna blindly believe you. What's trust?
I mean, seriously, in the business world.
Number 3.
Cosine, right? Why?
Notice how he's
Adjacent.
Because we have adjacent and hypotenuse.
X over 3.
Why did I skip G?
Because
it's
not
It's not a triangle.
Yeah, that.
This makes no sense. How is there a right triangle? I have died.
What does X come out to be here?
0.
This?
No, not that one.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's not a triangle. We already know that.
That's, 0.87.
0.87. Not be connected.
Yeah.
This is all a farce. Don't believe this is all just
It's
can't
straight.
happen.
It don't work.
Ah.
Well, if you round it, it's 0.88.
0.88.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like 0.8.
Thomas, what's up? You okay, man? You did the wrong thing. Sorry, dude.
Wow.
And then here,
Tangent.
the only one we've seen that actually allows us to use tangent because they
Yeah.
wanted us practicing those other ratios.
I
We
like
could have put
tangent.
B, but that was already
Tangent is fun.
Tangent of 42, opposite over adjacent, so x over 12. Again, they made these, most of them challenging, but this one's real easy. We can just do 12 times tangent of 14.
Yes.
Questions?
What is the meaning of life, the universe, and
42.
What do you always carry around with you?
A towel? Of course.
everything?
Crack dance.
Just had to make
Okay, no, so yesterday we went to play disc golf, and the course we normally go to, because that's one of the things I do for stress relief is just go play disc golf. One of the courses we normally go to was full of cars, because apparently they had some race on the river yesterday, and they parked cars all over the disc golf course. So we went over to OSU, and if I had had my towel with me, I could have gone into this little pond that they had and gotten out this disc golf disc. But because I didn't have a towel, my wife was like, absolutely not. And there's just a disc in the pond it wasn't my disc, but I was like, look, there's a disc free for taking.
You could have.
But I would have just normally taken off my shoes and walked in. And my wife was there, and she said no. So. Sad song on a tiny violin.
Always remember 42 and
Just say that you had a towel. Go get it.
What if you have 42 towels? All right.
Then you're the meaning of life, the universe, and towels.
So this is just reiterating what we've already talked about. So working through 69, the fact that Marta set up her proportion, which isn't really a proportion at the start, then she does her cross multiplication, quote unquote, and well, because she hasn't put sine of 25 over 1, which bothers me. And then she divides to get x by itself, just like as we've been saying, we can switch places, right? And we haven't really covered the means extremes theorem yet, but we'll get there. Of the means are like the middle values in your ratio. So if you have, no, that's stretching too far. Never mind. So Ziv, Marta's teammate, solves it this way: cosine of 65 equals 29 over x.
Where did you get 65?
Well, gee, I don't know.
Nobody
Yes,
told.
there are.
Thomas?
It is the same equation because you're doing, you're just starting from the other angle and doing a different equation. It still has 29.
Nice job, Thomas.
It's just that 29 is adjacent.
Now, most people would initially be like, wait, they set it up wrong. If the partner had said cosine of 25 equals 29 over x, that would be set up wrong. But because they switched angles, what's funny enough is this actually stays the same, because when I switch the trig function and switch the angle, what it relates to actually stays the same. That ratio.
Because like if you're opposite here, that would just be decent.
Yeah, when I first saw, the Ziv's equation, I first saw just 65 equals 29 over x.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a second.
So then if we work here, and we should still have time for homework once you get these done. Now with unknown angles, now some people are laughing at A. Why is A comical?
90. No, I think it's 1 degree. I think it's 1.
90.
Which time we could save. It has to be 45, because just like all of us in this class, it's special.
Yay!
Wow.
Now, you can prove this if you put inverse tangent of 9 over 9. Because if we go to set this up, and this is why I start you with a really easy one, we know tangent gives you the slope. Right? So tangent gives us the rise over run, or 9 over 9, but I don't know my theta. And Satya, I think you've gotten past this, but this is why I keep saying, like, you're not solving for a side. We can solve for whatever's missing, because now we're missing the angle. So to get theta by itself, we have to undo tangent.
Yeah.
To undo it, we apply an inverse function. I was about to say we inverse the function, but we don't. We can't undo that tangent did happen, but we can apply an inverse tangent, and it'll get us 45 degrees. So here, can we use tangent?
Yeah.
Heck
Inverse
yeah,
tangent.
we can.
Inverse tangent.
So
1 over 5.
we would want to set up tangent of theta equals 1 over 5, and then theta is the inverse tangent of 1/5. Making sure your calculator's in degrees.
Wait, I need to write that down.
And we should get an acute angle, right? We know this slope is low, under 1. What's it? What'd you get?
11.3.
I'll work.
Yeah,
11.31.
And actually, I'm pretty sure back when we were using the simple resource page, we said tangent of 11 was 1/5. Approximately tangent of 11 was 1/5. We were allowed to use that because it's close enough.
Now it's never close enough.
Now we cannot use tangent.
No.
Cosine.
Invert.
So cosine is adjacent and hypotenuse.
So inverse cosine.
5 over 10. So theta equals inverse cosine.
Holy crap.
You gotta make sure you put the -1 for your power, because otherwise if somebody looks at your work, they will think you have made a mistake.
It's 60.
What do you call a bug that likes to find angles?
A student who's off task.
Did you get it? It said invertebrate.
That was pretty
We have 13 minutes available to work on practice.
Crap, 13 minutes?
That's one more minute.
That's a lot of minutes.
So, there's your first homework problem.
I can't.
When you turn on the brain smart, 13 minutes, that's 1 more minute than 12 minutes.
Lauren, Hunter, whether you're skipping class or sick, hopefully you feel better soon.
I bet Lauren's keeping class and Hunter's sick.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably what's happening.
And if you're skipping class, I hope you feel better soon, like that you want to come back to class.
Yeah, we bully